Okay, but before I do this, I gotta go get some coffee, so stop.
Here we go. I have no idea what I'm going to read you guys today. I'm just recording. I'm saying hi. I'm drinking coffee, as you heard. I love you. How are you? I've got some exciting news for a friend of mine. I haven't been this excited about a friend's accomplishment in a while. Something about this, man. I've talked to you about Karolina Václaviak. She's a dear friend to me. She has introduced me to so many wonderful ways of looking at the world and living my life, and she's listened to me, and we've climbed mountains together, which sounds way cooler than what we actually do. We wander around Griffith Park at night with crystals. Anyway, she wrote a book called The Invaders, which I shared with you guys when it first came out. She was on a tour all over the place promoting it. And guess what? It got picked up by ABC this week. It's going to be a dark, humorous soap. I am so thrilled for her. Please follow her over on Twitter. I'm gonna share a link with you guys. My Twitter is ROBYN_ONEIL. So I'll tweet about Karolina's good fortune. Well-deserved. She works her ass off, so that is amazing. You can buy her book, The Invaders, at indiebound.org or at Barnes & Noble, Amazon. It's temporarily out because that's how much she's killing it. Also, shout out to her brother Mark and our mutual good friend Bobcat Goldthwait, who we metaphorically share salsa with every day. Hi, Mark. All right, you guys. Okay, so what I have here is a bunch of books sitting on my desk. And I'm just going to grab, and I put little bookmarks in all of them. I'm going to grab, and we're going to see what's going to happen, okay? This is a Rilke book, okay? This is called Rilke on Love and Other Difficulties, as if they are two different things. I'm just going to read you. This is I don't know if you can consider this a foreword, or what is this? Hold on. I don't know what it is, but I've always loved it. I read it a lot. Here we go. If we arrange our life according to that principle which counsels us that we must always hold to the difficult, then that which now still seems to us the most alien will become what we most trust and find most faithful. Oh, that's good. All right, let's see. Now I've got this book. It's just called Solitudes. It's Solitude singular. It's a collection of poetry about solitude. I think this is like some shitty book I got at Barnes & Noble or something. You know when they have those like shitty books that are all on kiosks that all look identical but have different ugly covers that you want to throw away immediately? Well, it's one of those, but I love this book. I look at it all the time. It's Everyman's Library Pocket Poets. Oh, no, it's Alfred Knopf. Hey, haven't had enough coffee. Barely woken up at this point. You know, I almost was going to... The reason I'm not very prepared today is I recorded something yesterday because I was getting all of these emails. Back to solitude in a minute. Let me talk. I had gotten an onslaught in a great way in the last week. Something about the podcast seems to be... moving people a little bit more in the last week. I don't know if it was my story about, early versions of depression that I had with the blue crayon box, or if it was, I think a lot of you responded to that. A lot of parents in particular. I am not a parent, thank God. But so many parents were moved by the Naomi Shihab Nye One Boy Told Me found poem. I was very moved by all of your letters responding to me and telling me your stories. And I recorded myself in the moment being tremendously touched by a lot of the letters I've been receiving. And then I went on and then I kind of started crying. And so it got weird. So I'm not going to share it with you. But I have, I've talked about it. I have this desperate need to share. And I have a real willingness to embarrass myself in order to connect with people. Like, I make myself vulnerable without any issue for whatever reason. And I feel really lucky. But I do it again and again. And oftentimes I say too much. I don't have great boundaries. I write too much. I reveal too much. And some people can take it, and it makes others uncomfortable. And I'm not dumb. I know that I can be overwhelming and exhausting. And what I experienced in the last week because of this podcast is like people who are okay with me. And that's not how I feel very often. So it really touched, you just heard me. I touched my, no, I didn't do it that hard. Touched my heart. And I still really don't know what the fuck I'm doing this for. It's self-serving, but at the core, I'm pretty sure I just reached a point in my life where I needed to know there were people out there who can kind of deal with me. And I don't know. I don't really know. But also you guys like what I like. And that's just a rich and bloody and pulsing bonus. And I feel really lucky. And I get shut down a lot by people who can't take my openness. And when those of you can take it, just take it and accept me and respond and all of that. It means so much to me. I still am having an email crisis, and you guys are being real patient with me, and I really appreciate it. Jesus Christ, it's 6 minutes. Well, at least I didn't cry. All right, so in this solitude book, this is a poem by Valéry Larbaud. That's Valery Larbaud. I'm not, obviously that's French. Valéry Larbaud. I'm going to say it my way, Nebraskan way. My voice is dying. This is called The Gift of Oneself. I offer myself to everyone as a reward, even before you've deserved it. There is something in me, in the depths, in the center of me, something infinitely arid, like the top of the highest mountains, something like the eye's blind spot, and without echo, but which sees and hears. A being with its own life who yet lives all my life and listens, impassive, to the chattering of my conscience. A being made of nothing, if that can be, insensitive to the body's pain, not weeping when I weep, not laughing when I laugh, not blushing when I act in shame, not moaning when my heart is stricken, unmoving, not giving advice, seeming endlessly to say, here I am, caring for nothing. It's perhaps empty as is emptiness, but so vast that good and bad together don't fill it up. In it, hatred dies for lack of air, and the greatest love cannot come in. So take everything I am, the meaning of these poems, not what you read, but what shows through despite me. Don't refuse, you have nothing. And wherever I go, in the whole universe, I always meet, outside myself as in myself, emptiness that can't be filled, nothingness that can't be won. Geez, Mr. Larbaud here seems to have had his own Me Reading Stuff podcast. It sounded like I was saying that to you guys. I got to take a breath. I said a lot there. I don't know if I was clear. I've got a kind of hazy brain and heart these days for whatever reason. And yet somehow some of us are connecting in really unique ways. And how can I not love that? Hey, lastly, I just want to say that, hey, would you like your own personal podcast? I heard about 89% of you say, hell no. But I heard a little bit of you thinking, yeah, that'd be fun. Would you like 10 minutes of your own personal podcast that no one else gets by me, Robyn O'Neill? Well, if so, I know how you can do it. Support my friends at the Free Beer Podcast. I was the second guest on their podcast. And if I remember, I brought them into a San Antonio sex den where we watched cable access religious programming together while they kind of interviewed me. They are great. On Saturday, October 17th in Austin at Pump Project Art Complex from noon to 12 a.m., they are having a fundraiser for their podcast. And if you give them a little scratch, you might win a podcast from me. I will tweet the links to all the necessary information today in just a little bit. And you know where to find me on Twitter and Instagram. That's Robyn O'Neill, ROBYN_ONEI. I can't spell my name. That ended in an L. You know it. I love you guys. Truly, thank you. You guys know who you are, who I'm thanking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Goodbye.